actually, so pretty good that everyone's getting into their winter evenings running, those that are running. The others that are getting into their winter warmers, their pints. But very, very nice to see such a good group. I'm thrilled to be able to be doing President's News with a future President, which is exciting. Because I'm sure at some stage Paul Austridge will be asked. But Paul has got all the news to bring us from Mansfield this weekend, so why don't you take it away?
Okay, thank you. You might all know Mansfield. Mansfield is probably one of the premier winter fixtures of the winter. We've always got a massive presence there, and this year is no different. It's the National Cross Country Relay, so the legs are very short, and so the racing is very exciting and very fast. And I wasn't running, no. They were very big. They were very big.
When you mentioned short legs, I just thought
very good, very good. We had 60 athletes venturing up there, loads of sports, parents and coaches, and we were well supported in each of the 10 races, 2 seniors and 8 youngsters races. We were lucky enough to have 2 minibuses from the local school. Paul Shaw and his wife Laura rented an old school that let us have their minibuses today, so we took nearly 40 kids up on that, which is a fantastic plus for the club. And one of the dads happens to be our team doctor as well, so that's he didn't know it, but he's a doctor and a little kid, so he was looking after us. So big thanks to them. Even Holly Platt, our social queen, princess.
Diva.
She came on and filmed every athlete running past and put that on a nice little mash-up on Instagram, so that's great. Dave Cordell and Ken Daniel were on the road trip as tent men, that was great. Dave is as colourful as ever. Ken, no doubt, has told you how wonderful he was already. He probably hasn't told you that we got to breakfast after the tent up and he said, "I'm sorry, that's not what we wanted." So out of character. But Dave never replied, which we can kiss goodbye to, but count. Anyway, lastly, one other thank you was to Claire, the admin lady, who looks after the admin front of 50 athletes. Adam actually doesn't actually do it, she works 3 times right. No boss must be something to do with Blackie, because she does loads of Blackie stuff. But anyway, quick skim through the results then, starting with the seniors, starting with the old ones. The senior women were 24th, which is fairly significant. Over 100 teams. This is the first time that a senior women team scoring for many years, so it's fantastic. And that's all pretty much due to Mick King, one of our coaches, who managed to get 5 of them out, all in their 20s. So we have the youngsters, we're very strong under 13, under 15, 17, even under 20s, but then they go off to uni and have lives, and then we don't see them again until they're in the 40s. So to have 5 of them in the under 20s was fantastic. So Nick Brisbane Hubbard led us off. She had a fantastic 5th place on the first really fantastic leg, with a couple of notable scouts. One of the Olympians from Tokyo, she beat her, and another current GB international, so Neve is on a roll at the moment. She was backed up well with Kelsey Cornish, Jess Keane, Schools International, Leah Everson and Amy Lynch all put in good terms. Good times, and they're all seniors who did this event as youngsters, so we're very encouraging to see them come back. The men, they did well. They were 60th with nearly 150 teams competing. They were led out by Charlie Davis, who I think is in his 10th year now of medical school, or 12th year. Agus Harrington, got him out to compete on leg 2. Dan Kennedy, doing it for the team managers, and then Darren Cornell bringing them home despite having a dodgy cut, so that's great. The under 20 men, they were a solid 21st. Harry Fisher, sporting a ridiculous hair, blonde and like John McEnroe with a headband on. Backed up by Tom, who, again, because it's a relay, you can take places or you can be taken. So Tom Brash took 16 places on his way, handing over to our Euro under 20 medalist Sam Reed, who struggled a bit with the hills, but all great experience. The under 20 women, they were a great 11th, led out by Morgan Squibb, modern pentathlete, passing to Elva Barnes, and then Izzy Stoneham. They were a good 11th. We also had Zakia Mossy back out running again after a couple of difficult seasons. The under 17 girls, they were our first medal of the day. They won a superb bronze, and that was a combo of Hannah Clark and Lyra Manns running exactly the same times. And Fleur Todd Wormuth brought us home, making up so many places and running the third fastest leg of the day. So fantastic medal there. We had two further teams in that age group. The B team was 17, and that was made up of Kate Price, Olivia Mickey Brown, and Gabby Martin. Good to see Gabby running again. And the C team were made up of Lily White, Karis Burke, and Lily Beers, and they were 24. They were the first C team, and our B team were the third B team. So great swiftly, they're very competitive. The girls are always oversubscribed, and so we have to select teams for this, so always very competitive. The under 17 boys, they had two teams out. They were 19th and 32nd, and we had Alessio Tutt, Miles Brown making up 10 places on his leg, and George Shaw. And then in the B team, we had Arthur Starvis back from a bad stress fracture, racing again. Ted Marston and Thomas Sutton putting in a great game. Down to the under 15. Under 15 girls, again we had three strong teams. First team was 22nd, Megan Barlow, Millie Mae Colin Smith in her first run in the Blackheath Vest, and Lydia Whitcomb, again taking 16 places. So that must be a lovely feeling to take over so many in the last minute. The B team was Christina Delotti Johnson, first time running in the Blackheath Vest. Matilda Shilland and Amy Gould, and the C team were 55th, Emily Devaney, Fran Middleton, who made up 18 places, and Molly Shaw. Under 15 boys were 12th. They were led out with Jasper Brooks, Harry Fage, and Alex Middleton, both Harry and Alex making up 4 places. In the B team, Henry Hurster, Ryan Tran in his first national, and Josh Healy making up 17 places. And then down to the most successful age group of the day with the under 13s. The under 13 girls, they were 5th on the day. They had Neve Stanley in only a third Blackheath winter race, well, only a third competitive race for Blackheath. Neymar Mossy, who made up 10 places, and then a strong leg, final leg from Luciana Smith, taking up 4 places to bring us home in 5th. We were actually the third club across the line, but unfortunately Liverpool had 2 teams, as did Milton Keynes had 2 teams in first, second, third and fourth, so strong opposition. The B team were made up from Charlotte Bloodworth, they were 29th, Charlotte Bloodworth, the multi-eventer, Lydia Marston and Sophie Fleming, who made up 5 places, and she's a year young, so she has another year in that age group. 2 other new young girls in that age group, another year next year, Mariana Caharis and Sophie Tran, who ran well as well. Down to the 13 boys. This was always going to be a great race, with 2 of our boys being the top 10 in the country. Alfie Whitelock led us out, Jonas Gaines then took over, and Joe just went off like a bully. He made up 30 places. And he passed to Luke Selmquist, who unfortunately didn't see Joe come in and stood on the line for a few seconds before he went, but still managed to run another quick leg and brought us home in a fantastic bronze. Joe and Lucas were both in the top 10 of the passing legs. That's over 200 athletes, so very, very impressive performances. And our B team, they were 20th, third B team on the day, and that was made up of James Shaw, Joseph Hill and Ben O'Grady. So with the Nationals coming up in February, where we have 4 to score, it's individual cross country, it's only 3 to score in these champs. With 4 to score, we've got great chances with such a strong depth squad, so all very good for that. That's the Mansfield. We've got Kent Lee coming up the weekend in cross country, all there except senior men who have a week off, a month off. And then London Games.
And the Orion mob match on Sunday as well. So it's all go. Thank you very much, Paul. That was a very full and great report, really good. A lot of those young athletes, particularly the girls, are coached by Phil Kissy. And Phil was named the BNC Coach of the Year. So that's a great deserved accolade for him. Very, very good news. On the more sad news, we were notified about Philip Critchley in the week by his wife Stella. So he passed away, and he's one of our oldest members. So those that will remember him, he's no longer with us, sadly. So that was the news from the week. We do, of course, have Remembrance Day tomorrow, and we will be remembering our fallen club members at the club dinner. Tony Pontifex has suggested that, and it's a great suggestion. So those of you that are coming to the dinner on Friday, we will remember them then as well. I saw John Turner coming in with a box. That must be the book that we hold most dear. There it is, being held most dearly. But of course it's very, very cheap at £10. So if you haven't got your copy, do get hold of a copy. Does anyone else have any news for the feed? David Apple's
I think just to remind people that the Orion Mob match is from the Warren,
yes.
And there will be a commemoration of Remembrance Day. I'm not quite sure how they're fitting it in around the timetable there as well.
Great stuff. Well, the immediate past president will be on duty that day. I'm unfortunately on a work thing this weekend, but Julian's stepping in, so that would be great, and really looking forward to him delivering the club cry with gusto. So if you are there, please do help him and support him on that as well. Okay, if there is... Oh yes, Dick.
The club dinner, as you all know, is on Friday evening. We've got one free place if anyone wants to come. So email me as soon as possible if you want to come. rsgriffith556@gmail.com. All right.
That's terrific. And thank you actually very much, Dick, for all your organisation on that. I mean, obviously the proof will be in the pudding, and I'll reserve judging until the pudding.
Don't fall.
But it's looking very, very good. Very, very good. All right, that's, if no one has anything else, I'll let you get on with your pints. Thank you very much.